Hey, what's up, everybody? Mike the Biz here, and today we are tuning in solo. Well, actually, you know what? I need to send Tito a link, see if he's actually available. If he is, cool. If he's not, I think that's all right also. But today, just kind of maybe a short subject that I want to get into with you guys, right? And again, if you guys are already looking at the screen there or whatever, you already know what I'm trying to address here. Let me just copy paste this really quick. Hopefully everyone's having a good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Today is October 23rd, 2024. If he's able to jump in. I don't know if he's busy or not. But anyways, this is something I guess I wanted to talk about because it's been kind of in the news the last couple of days, right? And first of all, I want to give all of you guys a shout out because we only have 52 subs on the channel though, but one of my last videos, the one talking about Jim Cornette and The Undertaker, obviously with Donald Trump on his podcast getting a lot of heat from the IWC, and personally, again, if you guys want to know my opinion on it, you can go back and watch that video. But that video kind of went semi-viral, not really. It got a couple of thousand hits already in just a couple of days. So if you guys subscribe from that video, I want to give you guys a shout out first of all. Didn't get too many subscribers from it, but goal is still to make 100 subscribers by the end of the year. At least we're in October already, so I have 2 months, right? 2 months, that sounds pretty simple, right? But you'd be surprised. It is very hard to get subscribers in such a saturated market, just like wrestling talk. Anyways, guys, again, shout out to the people that watch that video, etc. like that. If you guys are returning subscribers, smash the like button and comment below on what your thoughts about the topic of this video is. So again, WWE Carlito's controversial comments backstage, right? So if you guys are not familiar with what I'm talking about, basically, let me see if I can get a screenshot of this here. See if I can get something going here for you guys to give you guys some context, right? I'll show you guys a picture. Let me see if I can share that with y'all really quick. I am using a different browser today, so anyways, swap that out here. Here we go. Okay, so as you can see here, backstage, Adam Pearce is interviewing Carlito, right? Obviously Carlito at the time was trying to get, yeah. Okay, we got Tito responding saying he's out shopping for Halloween costumes and party favors. No worries. Stream. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, anyway, sorry about that, guys. So anyways, okay, 1 second. Sorry about that. I got my phone's going off. All right, anyways, sorry about that, guys. So for some context, again, Carlito was basically talking to Adam Pearce here, trying to get a title match for his boy Dom. So I don't know exactly where that's supposed to be going, but basically, I guess now that Gunther really has no challengers, I guess they're trying to get people in the title picture, right? So Dom asked Carlito if he could do something about it, right? So Carlito goes backstage and talks to Adam Pearce saying, "Hey, you got to get my boy Dom in the title match." So he did his best to try to convince Adam Pearce to put him in a match. He ends up saying, "Okay, I'll put him in a match next week against a former world champion. If he wins that match, then if he wins that match, then of course he will be the number one contender, etc. like that." I don't know if he's going to be the number one contender, but again, he could get into the number one contender spot if he potentially wins this match. So Carlito walks off, right? Or something like that to that extent. Or excuse me. So this is happening after what we see here. So prior to that, Pearce is interviewing Io Sky and Kairi Sane. and I don't exactly remember the order of this, right? It was either before or after, but I believe after Kyrie Sane and Io walk off from that segment, Carlito jumps in to talk to Pierce, and he says, "Man, I got to learn Chinese." So that is the controversial comment, right? And of course, if you guys know and pay attention to, demographics, right, where some of these stars come from, because WWE talents are from all over the world, right? They're from Japan, Korea, Australia, wherever, you name it, right? We've had a plethora of talents. So a lot of people kind of took this the wrong way, saying, from Carlito saying, "Oh, I got to learn Chinese," right? And it was a very like short, stinted comment. And I'll give you guys my opinion on if I thought it was good or bad, etc., like that. Keep in mind, guys, the show is supposed to be entertaining, right? It's not supposed to. I feel like it's not supposed to offend or trigger anyone, right? But unfortunately, stuff that happens does, right? I bet you the AEW people who thought that Daniel Bryan getting a plastic bag put over his head was not offensive, but they probably think this is offensive. Anyways, going back there. I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was funny. I didn't really make anything of it when I first watched it. I was just like, oh, Carlito's trying to be funny, right? And if you guys go back, years, when Carlito was in his early years, he would do a lot of stupid shit like that backstage. He would say a lot of stupid, he would try to be funny, but also funny like in a serious way in a lot of his bits back in the day. And I personally don't see anything wrong with it, right? That's just for me though. Again, I'm a Hispanic Latino, and if it were the other way around, if it was the other way around and it was, the EO or Kyrie saying, oh, he's Mexican or something, it could be something obviously different, right? Because there's so many different type of Latinos in the culture, right? You have Mexicans, you have, Puerto Ricans, you have, Spanish people. Obviously, there's so many people that speak Spanish out there. But again, I personally did not have an issue with the comment being made from what was going on there. I thought it was a little comical. I didn't think I did not think that Carlito was being an R, if you know what I mean. Like, or I did not think it was a R comment. I don't want to get flagged by YouTube for saying the R word, right? But you guys know what I mean. The R-cyst word. I'm not talking about well, there's a few, but I'm just gonna say it, racist, right? I don't think there was any type of stuff going on there that was trying to address that. I don't again, I thought it was Carlito just being stupid and whatnot. I personally don't have anything against what he said. Also, again, I thought it was a little comical. If anyone watches it, you probably chuckled a little bit, right, from the comment, right? Again, not to, I hope that people got that right. I feel like in 2024, like people in these days find any excuse to cancel somebody that says something or does something, right, that has nothing to do with them personally. Obviously everyone's going to have an opinion about stuff like this, but again, what do you guys think? Again, I don't know if we have any, but and if you guys want to comment during this live stream, I'll go ahead and share what you guys think. I'll read it off. In the meantime, though, I do want to read some of these comments that were made on here. And apparently, let's go back to the post here. WrestleMania.com is saying that both Io Sky and Kyrie Sane reportedly didn't have a problem with Carlito saying the line. That they saw it as him playing as an idiot, and that was that. So so if Io and Kyrie had no problem saying like no problem with him saying that, then nobody else should have a problem saying that. Again, it's people can make what they want from it, but it is what it is. We got Scarlet Bordeaux on the bottom, but I do want to read some of the comments here. And again, I'm not familiar with WrestleMania.com, so I don't know how credential they are, how big. It says like 2 million subscribers, so they got links. So I guess maybe there is some sort of credentials that they have here, opposed to the Deathlock podcast over here, guys, with only 52 subscribers on YouTube. Maybe one day we'll be verified and legit, but for now, I do want to read some of the comments here. from some of the from that specific post. It says one of them says, "Glad this has been confirmed. Hopefully, people can move on now." Um, some guy put so Blancas are bitching for nothing, basically. I'm not gonna say the word that he typed there, but you can kind of, you know, see what he's saying there. Y'all ain't ready for Raw on Netflix if you can't take a little harmless joke, which is what I saw. That's what I got from it. You know what I mean? Hey, we got Amongst Gangstas in the house. I thought Amongst Gangstas, you were busy, man. Well, anyways, Io and Kyrie had no problem because they don't speak English. I'm pretty sure they have no clue what he said. No offense to to them. That could be the case, and I do know that Io speaks some sort of English, so I don't think that I don't agree there to your comment saying that they don't know English. I'm sure they know a little bit of English, and I'm pretty sure they know what Chinese is. So I don't know. Anyways, okay. So someone posted, if the ladies aren't offended, it's time to move on from this discussion. Okay, great. Again, can people stop complaining about this now and move on again? And the reason why I wanted to get on here is because there are some podcasters out there that are addressing this, and some of them are kind of, making it more than what it is, right? Which again, to me, it's just a joke. It's just whatever it is. Again, I didn't find it, like I said, I didn't find any offense to that, personally. But again, some people might, right? And I understand why, right? Obviously, but again, let's say for instance, Carlito has only been there a year, right? And maybe he was what's the word, not knowing of their rate. I mean, obviously he probably did, but imagine him coming in and meeting them for the first time, okay, and then making that comment, right? If he didn't know who they were, there's anyone could have made the mistake that they were not Japanese, right? They could have said Chinese, Vietnamese, you know. Again, there's so many, Koreans, there's so many part of that Asia side of the country where everyone does look the same, right? Fortunately, it's hard to differentiate, because of how they look, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with, not being able to differentiate, unless you ask somebody, unless they specifically tell you, oh no, I'm Korean, or I'm Japanese, or I'm Malaysian. Again, a lot of people probably won't know. If you have about a line of 10 girls standing next to each other, and they're all from a different country, right? Japan, China, Korea, again, Vietnam, etc., like that. Would you be able to say, oh yeah, that girl's Chinese, that girl's Japanese? You know what I mean? No, I'm not chewing my water among gangsters. I should have turned my camera off for that. Anyways, Amongst Gangsta says these clown podcasters are just creating rage bait. Well, I don't know about that. Rage bait. That's a good one though. Rage bait. So someone posted, it's wild how people are so quick to twist narratives. Some fans need to wake up and realize it's just a joke. And yeah, I do agree with what the other guy said, saying just wait until Raw goes to Netflix, because we might see stuff that crosses some lines every now and then, right? But again, guys, this is wrestling. This is scripted. Everything is predetermined, right? And again, scripted, like if it's going to be a TV show, like if you guys are watching Law and Order SVU, like if you guys are watching, whatever on TV that you guys like to watch, like South Park, for instance, you know what I mean? South Park, the show crosses boundaries on everything. But I don't hear a lot of people making posts saying, oh, South Park went too far. No, because they do it in a jokingly way, obviously, and yes, maybe sometimes they do go too far on stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's fiction, and it's not real. It's not real. What's happening on screen is not real. Okay, so it's as simple as that. Amongst Gangsta says, yeah, the ones that are making or of it, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, I personally, I personally thought it was funny. I didn't think anything of it at the time, and then once I started seeing posts about it, like going on TikTok or Twitter or whatever, or X, whatever you want to call it, a lot of people got into it, and I mean, a lot of people are posting saying, oh yeah, like Carlito is such a dumbass for saying that, they're saying that he and the writer should have known better and this and that. I'm like, it was approved. Like whatever he said was approved to be on whatever was said. You know what I mean? So it's crazy to think that a lot of people think that he just went out there and said it just to say it, right? I think I don't. Obviously, that was a planned segment, right? So I feel like, and the thing is, I feel like a lot of those backstage segments aren't even live anymore. I feel like they record them all before the show even starts. That way, if they do mess up, they can just repeat themselves, etc., like that. So I don't see anything wrong with it personally. Um, let's see, Hartford Smoke says, "What do you know? Everyone overreacted. Nobody was actually offended. Shocker." People want everyone to get in trouble or have a gotcha moment. Their lives are so miserable that they want to see the world crumble. Go be depressed alone in the corner. No one else wants your misery. Right? Again, like personally, like I did not think anything of it. And again, I can't comment on the other the other my other two partners, whatever they think. Maybe they can go and respond to this, right? I would like Tito or even Gil Heyman to go respond to this and give their thoughts and opinion on it, right? Whether Tito does it on Tap and Twist or over here, or is it Twist and Tap? It's Twist and Tap. Twist and Tap. But anyways, thanks again for being interactive amongst gangsters. Let's see. Let's see. We'll read a few more comments and then maybe we'll try to find something else to talk about before we close out today. Just a short video, right? I don't really want to get into anything too specific, right? There is AEW tonight, right? So AEW, I do want. I guess the other controversy that I would like to talk about is Adam Cole and Britt Baker breaking up, right? That's kind of one of the headlines that have been kind of going around, and not just recently, but it's actually been going around for a couple months already since even before she returned at All In. Okay, well, let's take a look. Let's read a few more of these comments, and then we can maybe get into the whole Adam Cole and Britt Baker thing. Let's see. Someone put, that's a good thing that WWE made sure that Io and Kyra were comfortable with that segment. Yeah. Personally, and I think, WWE is at this point is experimenting on what they may be doing after they leave the USA Network. Obviously, I'm pretty sure they're still following guidelines on the for the USA Network on what they can and can't do, right? But I mean, obviously, once it goes to Netflix, literally the show could be what they want it to be. It could be a rated R show, basically. It could be TVMA, whatever you want it to be, right? TVMA, TV, rated R, TV 14. They really can't do much about it because it's not cable television, right? It's a subscribed service. So, anyways. Let's see. Some guys said, now we await the perpetually offended to tell them why they should have been offended and how it's bad they are. Okay. How could what he said be bad? Someone please help me. I don't get it. So I do want to see if anyone responded to this guy. Someone put, they speak Japanese and he's acting as idiot thinks they speak Chinese. LOL. It's like calling every Hispanic Mexican or every Asian Chinese. Some of us don't fuck with that shit. And I get it, right? I get, like I said, I get it why people would be triggered, to the point where like I'm Hispanic, right? I was not born in Mexico. I have family, I have descension from Mexico. A lot of my family, prior to coming to America, before I was born, was from Mexico, right? My grandfather was from Mexico. Two of my grandfathers were from Mexico, actually. I believe my grandmothers were born here in the United States. But I am an American citizen, right? I was born here in the United States. I have Hispanic roots and Mexican roots, obviously, right? I may not look it because I am white and have beady eyes. But that is what it is, right? So again, I still don't find offense to this. What happened? I thought it was funny. So someone put, time to move on IG. Interesting. Someone put, even if both were offended, it was all fun and Carlito selling his character, which I thought was fine. Carlito, I feel like they need to bring more of that Carlito back because what has Carlito done since coming back to WWE, right? You know, they have been he's been kind of stuck in these groups, right? The LWO when he first came back last year, I think it was what last year at that Puerto Rico pay per view where he actually backed up Bad Bunny, right? And the fans popped for it, right? The fans were happy to see him. Obviously, he's a big star over there, but at the same time, right? Ever since he's been back, you know, he hasn't really found any type of singles momentum, and I really think in my opinion, right, that they need to kind of he needs to separate from the Judgment Day, but because of what's happening right now, I don't think it's going to happen right away. I think Carlito is going to be somewhat of a manager for Dominic Mysterio, um, and I think the current Judgment Day is going to implode eventually, maybe sooner than later. When it comes to that. I think that will happen. And I think, you know, Carlito is going to be a big advocate of Dominic Mysterio, right? He is going to be the guy that is backing him up and possibly, you know, helping him win championships in the future, etc., like that. So I think that's going to be interesting to watch down the road. Amongst Gangsta says, when are you and Gil Heyman doing a watch along for All Elote Wrestling? A watch along? I don't know about that. You see, the thing about watch alongs is, you know, both mine and his streams, I'm sorry, have to be like synced up, right? They can't just be, um, you know, they just can't be there, right? We have to see what's going on at the same time, and you might have a 10-second delay over mine, or I might be 10 seconds behind you. You know, me and Tito tried doing this for WrestleMania last year, and it really didn't work. He was actually like 10 seconds ahead of me because I was streaming on Peacock, and I'm sure he was also, but I guess the internet connections, the time zones, etc., there was a little bit of a delay. So, um, Amongst Gangsters says, when are you and Gil Heyman doing a watch along? Why did you post that twice? What the heck? Amongst Gangsters, what is going on? But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get off this screen for that for now. Let's see if I can find anything concerning Britt Baker and Adam Cole, right? And then we'll go ahead and close out. Buenos dias. Hello. CMML. One second, guys. I am trying to find something over here concerning concerning Britt Baker, but it might not be the case, right? Heck. I mean, I guess it's to the point where it's like not even popping up on my feed anymore. So let me see if I can just find Fightful. I'm pretty sure it's on Fightful Wrestling. So, you know, again, I do follow new wrestling news sources like Fightful, Wrestling Observer also. See if I can find some sort of visual for you guys before we finish off here. And if not, it's all good. It's all good. Dang, okay, nothing. Let's continue on here, guys. Hopefully everyone's having a good Wednesday, by the way. As far as the live watch-alongs, as far as the live watch-alongs with me and Gil Heyman goes, I mean, I'm not saying no to a live watch-along, but again, like, I feel like I would just be falling asleep during the watch-along, man, because honestly, if I could be 100% honest with you guys, I don't, it's hard for me to focus on AEW when watching it, and a lot of times I'm on my phone, not paying attention to what's going on, because I don't find anything that's going on in AEW very interesting. There's very few segments where I will, sit down and pay attention. But in this case, we'll see. Again, maybe we'll do it, maybe we won't. Yeesh. Hikaru Shida. Hold on. Come on. There has to be one post about Adam Cole. And it's because the post went out this morning, that's why. So so the fact that the post went out this morning, that a lot of it's already like gone from the stream, so I'm not even seeing anything from it. That's Wrestling Observer. Let's see if I can find. I might just have to go find Brian Alvarez. There you go. I'll follow Wrestling Observer. I haven't done it before. But we will find out. So let's see. Come on. Give me something. Give me something. Give me something. Give me something. No. Well, here we go. Here we go. I'll go ahead and share this portion of it really quick. Britt Baker is annoying. I used to be a fan. You know, like, when I first got into AEW, right, obviously, I've been watching since the beginning, but I really thought Britt Baker definitely was a standout. Keep in mind their female division at the time was not very big. You know, Tony Khan at the time was bringing in a lot of international talent to kind of fill in gaps while he was getting people signed. You know, she was a good mouthpiece when it came to promos. Like, I think that's where her strong point is, obviously. But she's still very green in the ring, guys. Like, you know, again, she's been doing it for 5 years already at the professional level of AEW. And seeing some of her matches, just, they haven't been good, honestly. Probably the only match that I really did enjoy Britt Baker in was her versus Thunder Rosa. In that, like, you know, that hardcore match that they were in, that was really the only one that I kind of enjoyed. Any other matches after that were kind of stale. They just haven't been exciting for me. But yes, let's see. Let's go ahead and see if I can go back and share this photo with you guys really quick. There you go. It says, so Wrestling Observer says, Adam Cole confirms relationship with Britt Baker has ended. Okay, I did not want to click the link. So let's go ahead and read some of these comments, right? Just because, but personally, just to give you guys my opinion on like their relationship and like if it mattered. Obviously, it doesn't matter because it doesn't affect what's happening on the show. There was a little bit of every now and then there was a little bit of stuff that they aired together on the show. Obviously, that one year that both of them won the Owen Hart Cup tournament, that, you know, each one won that. Which was that last year? I don't remember if it was last year or the year before. But anyways, like, you know, they're separate individuals. Adam Cole obviously was doing his own thing in WWE before he even transitioned to AEW. So, you know, they were apart even before, you know, he came into the company. I mean, they were together before they came into the company, but they were apart, meaning like they were working separately. Some guy posted, but she's a dentist. So I have a shot now. I'd love to know what happened. They seemed like each other's persons. Adam Cole's relationship with lifting weights also confirmed ended. No comment there. I'll agree there that Adam Cole, and I don't know if this is just me or not, right? I feel like when he started his run in NXT, he was definitely a little more muscular than he is now. That he has kind of let his body go, you know, to the point where it's like he looks like he's just thin and weak, right? You know, again, guys like Kyle O'Reilly look like bigger and in better shape than Adam Cole, especially in Adam Cole's last few matches before he got hurt, right? Amongst Gangsta says in AEW, you'll be green your whole career. No comment, all right. And, you know, again, I know myself and Tito, we do want to get more into AEW talk, so, you know, maybe we might, you know, and if and yourself included amongst Gangstas, maybe Gil Heyman, if you would like to chat. Can I make you a moderator? Let's see. Amongst Gangstas, I might make you a moderator. Let's see if I can make you a moderator on here. Because I don't have good moderators, that's why. No one to stop people from talking shit over here. Just kidding. Give me 1 second. Oh, sorry. I have too many accounts, which is a bad thing. Tito said that having too many YouTube accounts is a bad thing. It's going to throw me off the algorithm, which is a possible, very possible. I'm not looking forward to that, but what can you do? All right, Amongst Gangstas is now a moderator, since he is one of the biggest fans here on the Deathlock podcast, guys. So shout out to Amongst Gangstas for being here. Okay, I don't know what we're seeing here. Let's see. Fightful Wrestling post saying Art Anderson, who the hell would want to see AEW die? The company is going to get bigger and stronger. Okay. I agree. You know, I definitely would want to see AEW continue growing. You know, from where it is right now, because like I feel like it did start off really strong the first couple of years, and ever since the last couple of years, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Ever since CM Punk left, got fired, left, whatever you want to call it, the company has kind of been on a downward spiral, right? You know, there a lot of stuff that has been going on in the ring and backstage just hasn't been making sense, and they need to do something. I think that's something that we all need to acknowledge, right? You know, and if you're a fan and you don't think anything is wrong, especially when it comes to ratings and ticket sales, then there's something wrong with you, because you know this company is not in the business of losing money. They're in the business of making money, right? And yes, I get it. It's entertainment for us. Maybe fans like, you know, us should not care. But the thing is, if AEW didn't exist, you know, we wouldn't see guys like, you know, MJF or Will Ospreay or Kenny Omega get their you know dues when it comes to, you know, being a top guy, right? Because if you look at it, and I'm just going to be 100% honest, a lot of these guys would not make it in WWE, right? Some of these guys are transitioning from WWE to AEW, from AEW to WWE, and vice versa, right? We're seeing people go to WWE from AEW to WWE, and that could be a whole nother discussion, guys, right? But let's see, what is Amongst Gangsta saying? He says CM Punk leaving was instant karma. You're right, they weren't doing good, but now they're doing much worse. Yeah, I mean, at least when Punk was there, I think Collision was doing at least like 500,000 views, 500,000 to 600,000 views, and I think Dynamite was doing a little bit better. I think they were a little higher. They were doing like 800,000 to 900,000, but then after he left, it just dumped. You know what I mean? Like, I think, you know, again, Tony Khan needs to fire everyone that's working for his writing staff right now. They need to take away power from the wrestlers that have their own creative control. I think that's what they need to do, honestly. Also, I mean, I get it. You know, the Elotes, the Young Bucks, you know, that's tempered into their contract that they have some sort of creative control of their character, but that should not be like that for all of their characters. That should not be like that for all of their top guys. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's in my pocket over here. Amongst Gangsters. Damn, it says we have 9 people watching. Come on, guys, let's smash that like button. If you guys haven't smashed that like button, please smash the like button. You know, keep the algorithm being pushed to this channel, because I would love to have more discussions about wrestling with you guys. But you know, again, we need followers, and we need people to kind of bounce off of, right? So again, I can't do this without my subscribers here. We have 52 subscribers. So again, this was just a random post. I hope, you know, if you guys are watching the replay, that you guys check it, you know, comment in the towel section down below. Give your thoughts and opinions on the topic at hand, right? Whether it be the Carlito subject or the Britt Baker and Adam Cole subject, which at the end of the day, like I personally never really cared that they were dating to begin with. Honestly thought, you know, that, you know, it was kind of an odd relationship, you know, just because I wouldn't say that she was too pretty for him or vice versa. You know what I mean? I think Adam Cole, you know, I think she was too tall for him. First of all, like, Adam Cole's not a tall guy. I think she towered over him a little bit. But anyways, you know, I could see Adam Cole with someone more like an EOS guy, or a Kyrie saying, like a little shorty there. But anyways, I'm not trying to get people to rage on, you know, on what I'm saying. So dang, 7 people in the house, guys. Thanks for liking, by the way. It looks like we already have a few likes on the chat. So again, thank you guys for liking so far. Again, if you guys want to chime in on this, you know, please comment in the live chat here while I'm still live. We can get that going. I can go ahead and go through Fightful's, you know, Fightful's post, I guess. I'll go ahead and see what topics are there to talk about. And again, Sean Ross Sapp. Let's see. Nick Namath, Fightful Wrestling reports. Nick Namath, I would love to get one more match with Hiroshi Tanahashi before he retires. Hiroshi Tanahashi, I don't quite remember who that is. I think he did wrestle in WWE for a little bit. I think Nick Namath, aka Fika Dolph Ziggler, is the TNA World Champion currently. Still, I'm not 100% sure. Someone quote me on that. Someone quote me on that. If not, I don't remember. If he is, cool. I was always a fan of Dolph Ziggler. I always called him Ziggy Smalls. Um, Super highly underrated wrestler. And again, a lot of people said in interviews that he was always the guy that people would love to wrestle against because they would always have a good match with him, right? Or they knew they weren't going to get hurt, anything like that with him in the ring. So always had a good look. I always wish that he kind of like grew a beard or something like that, because I feel like the clean cut just didn't work for him. Maybe not shave the head, but maybe shorter hair, or maybe could have the long hair, kind of slick it back, put it in a ponytail, and then just grow a freaking beard. I mean, kind of like how he looks there in that picture. Hold on, click that. I can't click that because that picture is like a link. But anyways, the guy really hasn't aged much over the last 20 years. Crazy that he was in WWE for so long. 17 minutes ago, let's get into it, right? We have Vince McMahon news saying Jeanette Grant's attorney and calls issue statement on Ring Boy lawsuit, asks again for NDAs to be waived. So again, I'm not really playing too much on, and maybe we'll get into that a little bit later on with the whole Janelle Grant thing, right? Obviously, there really hasn't been a lot of updates on Vinnie Mac and what's going on there. Let's drink some water here. Amongst Gangsta says, I remember when she got hit with a kendo stick via Saraya. The backstage segment afterwards was good. She acted great, but Adam Cole's not so much. I like Adam in the original Ring of Honor. And yeah, man. Like first of all, I haven't really been enjoying Adam Cole in AEW because first of all, he's been injured so much. He's been injured more than he has. He's been injured more than he has been able to be out there and actually contribute in the ring. And then for her, I mean, I appreciated him in NXT. I never really watched him in Ring of Honor. I think honestly, I maybe have watched one or two matches from him, in a Ring of Honor pay-per-view that I was invited to watch at a friend's house back in the day. So I was really unfamiliar with him, but I was like, okay, maybe we'll see this guy in WWE one day. Of course, NXT. Banger in NXT, right? He had a lot of good feuds in NXT, and he was one of the longest reigning NXT champions, I think. I think he held the title for almost a couple of years, if I'm not correct on that. And him and his group, the Undisputed Era, was just such a cool clique, right? You had again Roderick Strong, who honestly, Roderick Strong, I think is doing better in AEW than any of the guys that have transitioned over so far. Had a pretty good international title run. Is still somewhat over. Had a banger match with Will Ospreay before he lost that international championship. I feel like a lot of people don't give Roderick Strong the credit that he does, like how good he is. Unfortunately, I do think that Roderick Strong did injure Dalton Castle, which was the guy that he ended up getting like a concussion or something where he hit his head, and he's going to be out the rest of the year, unfortunately. So, but yeah, Adam Cole, fun guy to watch in NXT, but really just hasn't really been anything in AEW so far. The whole MJF thing, I really wish that they didn't do that for him because I really feel like it did kill his character. And now, the whole story between him and MJF going back and forth between face and heel, it doesn't make any sense. Tell me how MJF is the one that is the heel in this now, when Adam Cole was the devil. He was the devil, guys. You tell me. People in the chat, tell me how is this making sense? What is Tony Khan thinking to kind of switch it up on us now that Cole's back? Apparently he's the face and he's supposed to be the good guy because MJF is already heel. It doesn't make any sense to me. So try to make sense of that. Let's see. Amongst Gangsters saying Dolph was like HBK, Mr. Perfect in the ring. I agree. Yeah. I mean, for the most part, he had very similar moveset. I mean, he kind of oversold it on the super kicks a little bit, but I mean, he's one of those guys that can kind of do it all in the ring. He could be a high flyer, he could be a grappler, he could be a puncher, a hitter, whatever you want to call it, right? Uh, Good face, decent heel. Again, I never had anything against him. When I was watching him, I always enjoyed his matches. When I was in my early 20s, there was a 10-year period where WWE would come to where I lived, and a lot of house shows, and he would do the house shows, and the house shows were entertaining. And he always had like a match. He was always in a mid card title match. United States Championship, Intercontinental Championship, and he was always facing the champion. And he always lost, but he always made it look good, man. Like the match was always good. The match was always entertaining. I can't complain. He always entertained me as a fan. It is what it is. All right, here we go. Let's see what else we got. Booker T. Do you think Undertaker could wrestle on Sunday and be a chef on Twitch on Monday? What the hell? Okay, that's just a random. I do like the poster for WrestleMania. Let's see if we can take a look at that really quick. Anyone excited for WrestleMania next year? I mean, and then of course next year we're gonna have the first 2-night SummerSlam, right? But I guess everyone's kind of getting used to the 2-night of WrestleMania thing already now. That's been happening the last couple of years. At first I hated it. I was like, oh man, like this is gonna like be bad. But I feel like now it's like, first of all, like you get more time to enjoy the show because and the storylines that are happening, because there's just so much stuff going on in WWE now. So it gives so many people the opportunity to sit down and watch and pay attention to storylines. Let me get rid of this gangsta's comment over here. Excuse me, I'm still burping up my lunch over here. But anyways, CM Punk should be the headline of this match over here. You see Cody and Roman Reigns are the top two guys in the front there, but then you still have John Cena, CM Punk, Gunther, who's the world champion. It's funny because Gunther's the world champion. He's in the very back. I feel like they're underplaying Gunther when it comes to this poster, and I hope they decide to change the poster a little bit later on. I know he's still a new champion, but I feel bad for him. Like, you don't even have Damian Priest on here, who's like been killing it this year. John Cena, who hasn't even been on the show like once since WrestleMania, on the poster. You have CM Punk, obviously, who's a top player. We have Seth Rollins, a top player. Bianca Belair, yeah, you have Jade Cargill, who obviously they're women's tag champions right now. But Rey Mysterio, obviously, you got to throw in some diversity in here as well. You got Jey Uso in the back, so you got a few of the original Bloodline members. You have Nia Jax and you have Liv Morgan, who is the women's champion, right? So you have three of the women, two of the current women's champions, and then you have two of the former women's champions. You have several former WWE champions on the cover here. But anyways, it'll be interesting. I'm hoping to see more covers as this goes along. Daniel Garcia tells Seahawk that he doesn't want one wrestling company to dominate the industry. It's like the NBA. When the Golden State Warriors had everybody, it wasn't as fun because there wasn't as much parity in the league. When multiple companies are hot, let me read this. When multiple companies are hot and you have multiple hot people in each of these hot companies, it just makes wrestling better for fans. It makes it better for business, and it's just more fun for everybody involved. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't disagree, right? I think he has a lot of merit in saying that, right? He decided to stay with AEW and possibly make less money over time than, if he were to go to WWE and possibly make more money, but it is what it is. Oh, God, okay. A lot of Ring of Honor. A lot of Ring of Honor stuff going on. Mina Shirakawa, I believe I'm the only one who can bring the old Mariah May back. I can't wait to return to AEW. So yeah, for a hot minute, these two were kissing and making out on the show, and I think TK got mad at it. I think a lot of people backstage actually got mad at the HLA angles that we were seeing there with them. and I wasn't upset about it. I mean, obviously, from being a fan of the Attitude Era back in the day, of course. Ooh, my phone's dying. Let me get this connected over here really quick before my phone dies. I didn't even realize I was at 20% already. I need a new iPhone, guys, but I don't think I'm going to get one for like another year, probably. So, um, anyways, I think Mina has the opportunity to be a big star in AEW, but right now, the women's division in AEW is not something I particularly enjoy watching. I did like Mariah May's lead up to winning the women's championship, and then they just really haven't given her anything after beating Toni Storm, and Toni Storm hasn't really even come back, to re-challenge her for the championship, or there really hasn't been any strong contenders, right? I think she's called out a few people, right? I think she called out Thunder Rosa this past week. She called out Athena from ROH, right? So we'll see where that goes. But as you can see, just like our ratings are dropping once we're talking about AEW, just like AEW happens, it is what it is. Let's see. Lawsuit filed against WWE, Vince McMahon, Linda, and TKO on behalf of surviving ring boys claiming sexual abuse. Again, that's news. Let me click this and see if I can make anything of this real quick. I'll read out the article to you guys. This is from Fightful Wrestling. Lawsuit filed against WWE. Okay. The lawsuit claims that survivors John Doe, so they're not naming the people. 1 through 5 were hired by Melvin Phillip Jr. to assist with errands and other tasks. The suit claims the underage ring boys were groomed, exploited, and sexually abused by Phillips, who targeted children from broken homes. His sexual assaults occurred not only at wrestling venues, but also in hotel rooms and other locations where Phillips would shuttle the boys in plain sight. Defendants were fully aware of the systematic and pervasive abuse and did nothing to prevent it to stop. The case was filed in the Circuit Court of Baltimore County, MD, by DeCilio, Levitt, Greg Kultzer, Mark DeCilio, Bobby DeCilio, Adam Crom, and Emma Bruder and Murphy Falcon. Okay, yada yada yada. So this is news. I mean, again, it's not something that I've been seeing on a lot of mainstream media, but it says the underage ring boys. Yeah. Thanks to the bravery of our clients, we finally have a chance to hold accountable those who allowed and enabled the open, rampant sexual abuse of these young boys. So again, this is pretty crazy. I would like to know the dates of when this happened. Again, I'm not seeing information as far as when this happened and the age of this boys or the age of these underage males. Obviously, they're guys. They're not females in this. It says 10 ring boys abused by Phillips, but there are likely countless others who have suffered in silence for decades. So interesting, I guess, comment there. Hey, we got Hurricane Bottle in the chat. What's up, Hurricane? Thanks again for joining in. What's good, chat? It's going, man. We're talking about the Carlito segment, the Carlito post, or the Carlito segment that happened backstage. So if you want to chime in on that, and I'm just kind of going through, Fightful's site over here and just talking about wrestling news in general. Thanks, Fightful, for posting up all these, for being Fightful. All right. Oh, thank God. Fightful Wrestling post. This was 2 hours ago. The Aramis, aka Hologram, says he is injured and will be out of action for 2 weeks. Oh, so we get no Hologram. No. We're doing all right, man. I'm actually getting close to getting off, but thanks again, Hurricane Otto, for joining in on the chat, man. Anything you would like me to mention or talk about, concerning the Carlito address? As I mentioned earlier, personally, I didn't have a problem with Carlito calling Io Sky and Kairi Sane Chinese. I thought the bit was humorous. I thought it was funny. I don't think that everything that is said is intended to be so serious as a lot of other people think. And I think, we as, a culture or society should not take things so seriously sometimes. because again, this is, this is entertainment. This is not like it's, a real live, yeah, a segment. It's a segment that was, you know thought out, written, and approved by writers backstage. Or it had to have been approved by Triple H also. Like, you have to look at it like that. Like, Triple H had to say, yeah, I approve this, right? I don't think Carlito went into business for himself. Apparently, the girls said that they were fine with the comment. So if they were not mad about it, then other people should not be mad about it. So Jet Li says the world is soft now. Yeah, and I agree to an extent. Like, I mean, I agree obviously that there also are things that maybe should be looked at, if said right, obviously. But again, keep in mind, this is a show now. I feel like if he was personally attacking them, if the segment, where they were, had the segment together, and then they were just like, going back and forth with one another, and then he said something slanderous. Okay, that's another thing. But dang, we got 12 people in the chat now, guys. If you guys are just joining in, please smash the like button, right? Again, I would really like y'all's help with getting the algorithm to at least pay attention to the channel a little bit more. We're trying to post more videos, me and Tito. If you guys haven't checked out Tito's channel, let me go ahead and share that with you guys really quick. Also, he's another buddy that is on the podcast here with us. But I definitely want to share his channel before we get off here. If I can figure this restream out, if you guys are not familiar with it, but there we go. Let's turn that off really quick, and then we'll find the actual correct website here. What the heck? What the heck? Sheesh, am I even on the right page here? What the heck? I am not on the right page. What the hell? Let me switch accounts. Hey, well, we got 52 subscribers right now, guys. So again, shout out to you. Jet Li says, "Oh, how I wish we could go back to the Attitude Era." I mean, Attitude Era was definitely different. My young mind was a sponge back then, so a lot of stuff that I was taking in, I didn't. Now I probably wouldn't be okay with on some stuff, right? Especially on a lot of the segments with the divas, right? I think a lot of the segments did go a little too far, right? Like Trish Stratus, getting on her knees and barking like a dog, and then joining the I think she was the inaugural, maybe it was William Regal, I don't remember. I think it was her or him that had to kiss Vince McMahon's ass, so that they basically started the Kiss My Ass Club, right? Which, that probably wouldn't fly today, obviously. But, I think stuff like that, I would just thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, like, this shit wouldn't fly in today's world. I'll tell you guys that much. Let's see, hold on 1 second, guys, while I pop this up here. Tap and Twist. So if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my buddy's channel. Called Twist and Tap. I don't know why I keep saying Tap and Twist. I always keep my dyslexia over here. We'll go ahead and share it here. Let's see how many subscribers he has so far. He has 12 subscribers. All right. So first of all, shout out to Tito. I actually haven't seen this one, so let's click. It's more of a shorts channel now, I think. Let's see what he posted. Where's the noise? Oh, here we go.
And you're completely helpless.
Hold on, let's see. I really don't want to get copyrighted by WWE here, so you guys might want to check out his channel himself. Okay.
Kevin, you're completely helpless.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
No, Kevin, you're what the French call les incompetents.
All right, I am going to pause that just because, again, I don't want to get not canceled, but I don't want to get copyrighted by WWE. Again, I think you can only share like 5 seconds max on clips here, so let's see. People saying the race that was racist, but they don't have the same energy with Mayan's MC last year with racial vibes that season 5 was giving so to us SMH. I'm not familiar with that show, but I know it does have to do with what is that other Viking show? I guess the Sons of Anarchy. So yeah, I mean, there's so many shows that cross the line when it comes to their content, right? So I think that's just something we have to consider on what we're seeing on WWE Live. And yes, you know, technically it's rated PG, but you guys want to know what PG stands for, right? Parental guidance. Okay, parental guidance means that you should not just let your kids watch the show and assume that they're not going to see something that may or may not be explicit, right? You know, that's what PG stands for, parental guidance. So your parent has to be the one to decide whether this show is good for you or something that is not good for you, okay? Now, I'm so glad that when I was a kid, my parents didn't pay attention to what I was watching like 90% of the time, and that I got away with watching wrestling in the mid late 90s. Okay, James Gilman says this is so small and why it is a huge deal. I'm assuming you're talking about the Carlito thing. It is, right. It is small to the point where a lot of people are making a big deal about it, but again, that is the internet for you. That is what, you know, TikTok and all these other platforms like Twitter, X, you know, are posting, right? A lot of people are complaining about it. Some people are saying, oh, he should have never said that. And, you know, Carlito is so, what's the word? Not bad, but there's a word that I want to use, like incoherent. No, incoherent. There's a word. Anyways, I'm like blanking out. Ruthless was okay, but not compared to the good storylines of the best era. I mean, I think both eras had very good, strong points. You know what I mean? I think the Ruthless Aggression era obviously lasted a little bit longer than the Attitude era. So, you know, some people, you know, a lot of people that grew up during the Ruthless Aggression era that didn't get to see the Attitude era, right? That's okay, right? I mean, I grew up through both eras. You know, I'm just so you guys know, right? To a lot of my new subscribers, I'm 38 years old. I have been watching wrestling since I was about 7 years old, right? So that means I've been watching wrestling for about 31 years, okay? So, you know, I mean, I don't claim to be an expert on, you know, wrestling or wrestling historian or anything like that. If you ask me something, I might blank out on it, right? I might blank out on you know, specific matches or characters or storylines, right? Because again, things that happened 10 years ago happened 10 years ago. I'm not going to remember every single pay-per-view, every big match, you know what I mean, that happened, right? I mean, I can tell you the stuff I do remember, right? But you know, I'm not one of those wrestling purist or enthusiast that just knows every little detail about what's happening in, you know, WWE, AEW, TNA. You know, this channel is mostly, just to be honest with you guys, this channel is mostly going to be catered to WWE talk, AEW talk secondary, and news revolving both of those companies, right? So we'll see what happens there. Hey, it looks like we got 5 likes in the chat. Come on, guys, let's see if we can get that to 6 likes. Come on, guys. We got, it says there's 10 people watching, so there should be minimum of 10 likes on this chat at least. Come on, guys, smash that like button. Help me out, please. Goku says to smash the like button, okay? Get those cheap likes in here. But yeah, guys, please, if you guys would consider subscribing to the Twist and Tap YouTube channel also over here. Again, this is my buddy Tito's. He is on a lot of my live streams here as well. He is a partner for this channel. In fact, he is a manager of the channel. So you might see him post up something on here. You might see him do a live stream on here on occasion, right? Because he does have access to the channel page. So I want to give him a shout out. I had invited him to the stream today, but he said he was actually out Halloween shopping for himself and his family. So got to give him a shout out. You know, hopefully if he watches this video, if he decides to later, he can post a response video on it. You know, but let's see if we can get both of these channels to 100 subs. I would love to see these channels hit 100 subs. Look, we finally got the like ratio at least to 7, guys. So I appreciate it, right? I appreciate you guys smashing the like button. Again, you know, hopefully we have more to talk about. AEW is tonight. I don't think I will probably do any talks on AEW unless you guys want me to. I rarely recap AEW just because it's kind of boring, right? You know, I will probably recap their pay-per-views if anything. And again, guys, I'm not trying to knock on All Elite Wrestling, right? Like, I want the show to succeed. I want the show to be good. I just haven't found any investment on the characters. I do my best to watch Dynamite and Collision. I don't really watch Rampage. I don't follow Ring of Honor, right? So, like, if Tony Khan decides to bring in all these ROH wrestlers or CML wrestlers in for no reason without any backstory as to why he's doing it, and then he's just throwing them in matches against guys like Leo Rush or Hologram or you know, guys like Daniel Garcia, and they're teaming up with like 10 other fucking people that we don't know. Literally, guys, Collision is just a big tag match show. That's all Collision is. There's no story on Collision whatsoever. All you see is backstage segments from AEW Dynamite that kind of roll over a little bit. Sometimes you might see a match that kind of rolls over from Dynamite to Collision, but literally you're seeing either 6-man tags, 8-man tags. Tony Khan is paying a lot of fucking people, guys. Tony Khan is paying a lot of people for nothing. I think he needs to really look at his database and see what's going on here. You know, check out the crowd reactions. Who do people want to see? No one wants to fucking see Beast Mordos or not to knock on Hologram or anything like that. A lot of these guys are very talented, right? You know, they're there for a reason because they can wrestle, but their characters have no characters, right? Does anyone agree with me there that their characters are not entertaining? They're not relevant. And I get it, right? Some people do like watching 6 tag team matches throughout a night, maybe. I feel like this is going back to like the SmackDown era where they're just watching, you're watching Teddy Long throw out all these fucking tag matches, right? It's just not what I want to watch, right? You know, I want to see some story on the show. I want to see better development with the female wrestlers also, right? You know, Thunder Rosa, who could have been one of their biggest stars, has been pushed to Collision. Why hasn't she been on Dynamite? Why is Thunder Rosa not on Dynamite gunning for the AEW Women's Championship, right? I mean, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, and maybe I take it personal because, you know, she's from Texas. I'm from Texas. You know, she's Latina. I'm Latino, right? But, you know, she's one of the hardest workers there, right? You can tell ever since she came back that she busted her ass to come back. You know, she got one little title match, you know, and then it just really hasn't done anything since then. She's not even involved with fucking Mercedes Moné. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Am I just renting here? I'm just renting just to rent now. I'm not usually the one that rents. I usually leave that for Gil Heyman, and I leave that for Tito. But amongst gangstas, let me know if you're still there, by the way. Let me know if you're still there. Guys, also, if you guys are not following me on X, we do have an X page. Let me go ahead and bring and share that real quick. Also, before we get off here, you might see a lot of female characters here. Let's see. So you can follow us on X if you guys haven't. We have about 49 followers on X as well. So you can follow us at the Deathlock Pod. All right. You can search up Deathlock Podcast, but it is, and I'll go ahead and copy it here at the Deathlock Pod. So if you guys want, you can always go ahead and follow us on X also. I don't really consistently post on there, but I do share our live streams, or at least our past live streams. So like, let's say I finish off right now, I'm going to share the stream afterwards. So eventually, once I get into the groove of things, I will start sharing the live stream link before I go live, letting you know if I'm going to go live, etc. like that. So, and again, you can comment down below. Like this is a funny one that I reposted. You ain't slick, Dom. I think Dom was enjoying the view there. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Dom was enjoying the view? I think he misses mommy, guys. What do you guys think? I think he misses mommy. But yeah, you can follow us on the Deathlock Pod page. Again, you might see some stuff here, like this is MLW stuff right here.
Alexander, and now Don Callis doing the same. Come on, this is ridiculous. Oh my God!
Oh God, not Ricochet. Let's move forward because I don't want to get copyrighted either from MLP or what is that, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling or something like that. Another great promo from Ricochet. Okay, hold on. Let me exit out there. I think there was one that I posted of Mauro and Allo previewing something. Oh, you're gonna see a lot of reposts on there, that's for sure. You can ignore Lola Vice, guys, by the way. You can ignore Lola Vice. Not a simp, I promise. Okay, anyways. Dom is a simp, you're right, yeah. Dom is a simp. Of course he's a simp, right? Guys, come on, we have 13 people watching. Let's get us to at least 10 likes on this chat. That way we can get some subscribers. And guys, backstory about me. If you guys are just, following me on the channel, right? My name is Mike. So you can see there that my name is, I go by Mike the Biz, right? So I actually locally used to do a radio show at a nonprofit radio station with some of my college classmates and a few buddy of mine that, again, we started years ago. This was probably back in 2014. We probably ran the show for about a good 5 years off and on. And then we stopped, unfortunately. We had issues concerning the station and then just some personal issues as well. So, I was actually one of the producers, or I was actually the main producer of the show. I would record, I would edit all the stuff on the show. Again, I love my old colleagues, right? Everyone is doing their own thing now. So, but, I've been a YouTuber for years also. And, I've never decided to go solo until like the last year or so. I think I made this channel like a little more than a year ago. Before WrestleMania, and my intention was to just talk about wrestling. First year was a little slow, right? I've been starting to do more recently now that Tito has kind of been motivating me to start posting more on here. So shout out to Tito, first of all. Tito, if you're watching the aftermath of this, shout out to you. And again, him and my buddy Gil Heyman, aka Mill Heyman, aka Mill Hustles, those are going to be the regulars that you see on the show with me, okay? Maybe in the future, you never know, we might have guests on the show. I do actually know people that work in AEW, right? I actually know the Spanish commentary guy that works for AEW personally, because he actually is from the area where I live. And then vice versa, right? I've just known we have connections, right? Gil Heyman has connections. I have connections here and there. I do know a few indie wrestlers that might have connections with some talent that is visiting us locally down here. So you never know. You might see just random clips of me interviewing people. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off today. Thanks again for watching. If you guys like the video, again, please share with your buddies. If you guys have other wrestling fans that you would like to share this with, share and smash the like button.